Ooh, doggy, what is going on, beautiful people? I hope and pray that everybody, every single one of y'all are doing just absolutely well, phenomenally well. I'm so excited about today's topic and to be doing these live trainings. Let me know how y'all feel about these live trainings. If this is something that y'all, number one, enjoy, and that adds value to your life, and you feel and believe that it will help you close more deals, get more deals done. I'm actually not opposed to doing this on more a regular basis. I know I pre-record the content and share it. I've been sharing videos now every single day. But if the lives are better for y'all to where y'all can engage and leave comments, just let me know how you feel about that if you like that. And I can make this a regular thing as well. But for today, I want to talk all about talking to sellers. What I believe is the key to you building uh, quality relationships, quality connections, and going in here and closing more deals, essentially, and serving more people. Because at the end of the day, that is exactly what this is about. We want to be able to serve as many people as we can serve at the highest level that we can serve. Okay. Now, I think that there's a huge or common misconception when it comes to talking to sellers. Okay. You'll hear some of the gurus or some of the people, hey, just pull a pre foreclosure list, go out here and make them an offer, right? Yes, that's what we're doing, but just not in that context, maybe, right? You have to understand that our goal, or at least my goal, I'm going to share with you my beliefs, is that our goal should be focusing on serving. That is the secret. Focusing on serving. Somebody put in the comments right there. Focus on serving. Okay. Right. Because when you focus on serving, what ends up happening, and I'm going to bless you right here, right now. Okay. When you walk into a room and you focus on serving, it's going to alleviate any pressure off of you needing to be some type of grandmaster closer. Okay. Are you with me? And that is what I focused on. I focused on walking into these conversations with these sellers saying, hey, how can I serve you? How can I help you through this tough situation? Okay. Because you have to remember at the core of all of this, you are dealing with people who are going through a tough season in their life. Maybe you've been through a tough financial season in your life, right? And think about how you wanted to be treated or would like to be treated in those situations. You see, they don't need somebody to come in there and pray on them. They need somebody to come in there and pray with them and help them through that season in their life, because that is all it is, right? And give them the best options for them. And so I shared a video a few days ago about how there was a massive lawsuit for some wholesalers in Arizona, a $28 million lawsuit that the attorney general was going after. Maybe because they weren't focusing on serving. Maybe they were going in there. Now, I don't know the whole situation, but I'm just saying, like, were they going in there praying on them or praying with them? Just something to think about, right? Now, I'm gonna dissect this and break this down even more to make it more tangible and share kind of my thoughts how these conversations go. So when I'm walking into the door, or let's say I'm having a phone conversation with the seller, I'm going to ask and talk to the seller. I'm going to say something along these lines. Hey, Mr. Seller, I just want to chat with you to see if we're a good fit to work together. If we're not, no harm, no foul. If we are, then we can discuss what that's going to look like too, right? So when I'm going into this conversation, I've already set the tone that there's no pressure for us to work together or not, right? I am not trying to force a deal in any form or fashion. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that new investors make. Y'all, there is an abundance of opportunities out there. There is an abundance of deals out there. And so I am not trying to force any one single seller to work with me. In fact, I want every single person to feel good about the deal that we're doing. Are you with me on that? So I set that tone out of the gate. Okay. Now, when I'm going through the conversation with the seller, uh, I'm trying to see how I want to frame this. There's four things. I'll start here. There's four things that I want to get out of the conversation, and I'll break all four of them down. Number one, why they want to sell. Okay. There has to be some type of level of motivation for them to sell, right? They don't, it needs to be like this. They don't want to sell, they need to sell. Okay. There's a huge difference there between somebody just looking to sell a property. Oh, yeah, I'll sell for the right price, right? Somebody come pay me $2 million. I'll gladly move out of my house today, right? I'll have this whole house packed up, office and all be packed up. Okay. Right. I'm somebody that would sell, but I don't need to sell. There's a massive difference. The only way that somebody is going to accept the 70% offer on their property is because they're in a situation where they need to sell. And by them selling that property to you will provide the speed and convenience that you bring by working with them. Okay. Let me say that again. Speed and convenience. That's what you offer as a real estate investor. Okay. Somebody put that in the chat. Speed and convenience. It's very important to know what you offer and what you bring to the table as a real estate investor, because sellers are willing to give up the equity in their property for that speed and convenience that you offer. I share this story all the time just because I'm a girl dad and it touches my heart. But there was a dad whose daughter's financial aid was declined in school. And so he needed to sell one of his properties so that way he could pay for her college tuition. He did not want her to take out a student loan. So awesome dad, isn't he? But he was giving up some equity for speed and convenience. He did not have the time to list that property with an agent, to wait 30, 60, 90 days. Tuition was starting, or tuition needed to be paid. The semester was about to start. He needed a quick cash offer to close on that house and get that tuition paid for. Speed and convenience. Are you with me now? So that's what we offer. So why is the number one thing that we need to know? Why they want to sell. Two, how soon do they want to sell? Right? Is this something like a situation where the tuition needs to be paid in a week? Maybe the foreclosure is happening in a week. Maybe they have all the time in the world, or they have 30, 60, 90 days, right? We want to know how soon are they really looking to move, because that is going to affect us in the way that we move, right? If I have a house that's facing foreclosure in a week, then the way that I move, whether I'm trying to buy that house or if I'm trying to simply wholesale that house, is going to be completely different. Okay. It may be something that I say, you know what? I actually need to close on this first and then turn around and sell it, or do like a hotel type of thing. So it may affect my exit strategy in some form or fashion. If we have all the time in the world, I could also do like a novation, right? Where I list that property. It's going to take a little longer to close, but I'm going to make a lot more on that end. So we need to know how soon they need to sell, what is going on, what is the underlying issue. Okay. So we know why they want to sell, number one. I'll try to put these in the comments, or if I got a note taker in here, put them in the comments for me. Number one, why they want to sell. Number two, how soon they want to sell. Number three, price point. Okay. That's crucial. We need to have some level of expectation. If somebody is asking me for $500,000 for a house that I know I can only pay $200,000 for, we just have unrealistic expectations. I'm not going to meet their price expectation. They're going to feel probably insulted, or like I'm trying to lowball them. And so I probably honestly wouldn't even give them an offer. I would simply say something along the lines like, hey, Mr. Seller, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to come anywhere near your price expectation, right? Please keep me in mind if anything changes. Simple as that. And I'm moving on. Again, my goal and my style that I do that works very, very well for me, I'm not forcing a deal. I'm not. You're going to have some people say, oh, no, you need to force the deal. You need to do all this. I'm not doing any of that. Okay. I'm just not. It's not my style, right? I only want to work with people that want to work with me, period. So we have to have some level of expectation. We have to be in the ballpark on those numbers. Okay. If I know I can only pay 200,000 and they're asking 250, I can work with that. I'm pretty confident that we can come to some type of price agreement at that range. But 100,000, 200,000, I'm good, but I'm not that good. I'm not going to talk anybody out of $200,000. Are you with me? And so we know price. Now, fourth is we need to know the status of the house. What I mean by status is the house vacant? Are there hoarders in there? Are there tenants in there? What's going on with the property? Is it vacant, etc.? Because again, knowing this affects the way that we move. If it's owner occupied or tenant occupied, well, what's the plan? Do they need a temporary lease back? Are they going to be out before closing? If there are tenants in there, have they given them a letter to evict or to vacate the property? Right? There's things that need to happen there, and so we need to know what's going on. If the house is vacant, we might need to put a lockbox on there so we can get our buyers in and out of there. So it really affects the way that we move, right? Now, there's no order per se that I'm getting these questions answered. I try to let the conversation flow as naturally as it possibly can, okay? I focus on having a quality conversation with the sellers. That's it. So when I'm talking to a seller, or I call a seller or whatever it may be, I say the first thing I'm going to say is if they're interested in having an offer, I'll say, awesome, Mr. Seller. Well, let me ask you, what got you interested in selling? Right? That's my first why right out of the gate. My first question right out of the gate. And it opens the door for me to just keep digging for more information and information gathering. So there's almost kind of like a framework that I do this in, to where I make my introduction first, right? Um, hey, my name's Clifford. I'm a local real estate investor just reaching out to see if you're open to a cash offer on your property. That's my intro. It's sweet. It's simple. It's to the point. They know who I am. They know what I want. They know why I'm calling. I said all of that in less than 30 seconds. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm getting to the point, right? Because when you call or when you see a number that pops up on your phone that you're not aware of, if you answer it, you're probably even a little hesitant. Am I right? You're like, hello? Yeah, right? And so you need to get to the point quickly. Now, when they know who I am and they say, yeah, Clifford, what's your offer? Boom. Hey, Mr. Seller, what got you interested in selling? Well, I'm only interested in selling because you called. How many of y'all have gotten that, right? What's your offer? Okay, then I would say something along these lines. Okay, Mr. Seller, so you're not actively looking to sell, right? Just only if I can meet your price expectation. So I know that this person isn't motivated. I know that they don't have any interest in taking a discounted offer, right? If they tell me that life is good, life is amazing, they will be insulted if you make them a lowball offer, okay? And they're probably going to hang up on you. So that's kind of how I work that. But I want to almost circle back around, because there was a point I wanted to make. When when I'm talking to sellers and dealing with sellers, I make myself the best option. Remember, my ultimate goal is to serve, period. Right? That's why I say I never lose a deal because I'm either going to get that deal or I'm going to bless a seller and serve. And I'm going to live out my mission and my purpose, which is to serve people. Right? So I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Seller, so let me ask you, have you thought about listing this property on the MLS and selling it that way? Because you can actually get a lot more than what I could offer you as an investor. I'm giving them option number one. I'm telling them, hey, you can list this with an agent on the MLS and get a lot more than what I can offer you. I am setting that tone right now. I am letting them know that option right now. Okay. If they come back and say, you know what? No, I don't have time for that because, my daughter's tuition needs to be paid and we need to get this done quickly. Well, hey, Mr. Seller, have you thought about just fixing it up and flipping it that way? So that way you could even get full market value for it, right? That might be a scenario or an example that I share. No, I don't have time to put money into that property. I don't want to do it that way. Well, what about, this is a good rental area, Mr. Seller. Have you thought about simply keeping it for a rental? No, I don't want to deal with tenants and toilets. So now these sellers have literally said no to 2 or 3 options that I have personally given them. Are you with me? So now I can come back and show them how I am the best option for them by showing them how I can help them with all those other areas. Well, Mr. Seller, if you don't want to list it with an agent, uh, and deal with that. Don't worry. We buy these properties completely as is, no agents involved. You also don't have to put another dime into it. So you don't feel like you have to go and fix it up. We buy these properties completely as is. And then definitely you ain't got to worry about dealing with tenants and toilets. So for us, this will be a quick, simple cash offer where we get this done for you very, very quickly. No extra money out of your pocket, etc. Do you see how I'm framing that to where I am the best option for them? Now that makes the seller want to work with me. Also, what it does is it builds more trust and rapport because I am giving them multiple options to go off of, right? And guess what? Even if one of those other options work, awesome. I have had sellers say, you know what? I do think I'm going to list this with an agent. I'm going to say, perfect. Well, guess what? I have an agent here in house that can get that property listed for you. In fact, I guarantee you they'll get it sold. If not, we will buy it at our cash offer so you don't have to worry about it. You see how I'm teeing that up? And now I'm going to find an agent that I work with. I'm going to send that agent that seller's information. They're going to get that house listed, sold. And guess what? I'm still going to get paid a referral fee or marketing fee from the agent on that. So it's not a lose-lose in any form or fashion. Are you with me? Um, let's see here. We got a question. What do you think about finding distressed homes and offering in person? I think that's amazing, going in person. So let me tell you a backstory on that. I used to run all of my leads in person all of the time. So much so to where I got overwhelmed and I started to do it virtually, just for the sake of time and convenience. But now virtual wholesaling has become a massive thing. Nobody wants to go and sit with sellers belly to belly, right? But if you are willing and you have the time to go out there and sit with that seller and build trust, build rapport in person, you are probably going to get that deal signed right there. Or at least you're going to make a lasting impression. And prayerfully, it's a good impression, right? Versus somebody that's just virtual, somebody that's calling. And so I'm actually trying to get back into the habit of, if I have a seller that's local, within a 20-minute drive, 30-minute drive, I don't mind going and sitting with them anymore, right? And it almost kind of breaks the monotony because when you're sitting here in the office and you're on the phone all day talking to sellers, like, let's be honest, that can get boring. That's not glamorous. There's nothing sexy about that. But actually going, driving out there, meeting with them, really getting to know them goes a very, very long way. I went and sat down with a couple that we had under contract recently. I even took my wife and daughter over there to meet with this family, and it was very, very refreshing, I'll say. So I am trying to get back into the habit of doing that. But I share all this to say, make sure that you are focusing on serving. Make sure that you are building trust, building rapport. That's the only reason people do business with you. They need to like you and trust you, period. Period. Okay. No other reason. They need to like you and trust you. And so make sure that you are focusing on having those quality conversations. All right. I pray this was helpful for y'all and kind of gave you some guidance and some direction with talking to sellers. I have a live 3-day masterclass coming up. Check on the links. All the links and details will be in the description below. But I will see y'all soon. Go out there and focus on serving.